Welcome to Craig's Gun Channel. The Mustang Lite is a polymer-framed, single-action, hammer-fired pistol in .380 ACP. It has a capacity of 6+1 and is 5.5 inches long and 3.9 inches high. It's just slightly over an inch wide and weighs in at 11.5 ounces empty. Let's take a closer look. And as always the case, before working on any firearm, you want to make sure that it is free and clear of any ammunition. So first we'll go ahead and take the magazine out. It is clear. And see the chamber area, and it is clear as well. So as far as disassembly, the disassembly pin goes through the frame, so it can be pushed on from there to aid in disassembly. There again, the slide release is the disassembly pin as well. It has the little cutout notch in the slide. You would align that with the retention portion of the pin assembly, which is right about there, and then you'd be able to lift that up. So it's easier to go ahead and have the hammer cocked back. It's just less spring tension to overcome. You'd want to align that section for the disassembly pin. Once that's aligned, you can lift up from the other side. There we go. And then the pin comes out. Then the slide will just come off the front. Take a look at the frame. We have our metal front and rear rails. This is our ejector right here. That's our disconnector right there that disconnects the trigger from the hammer to keep it semi-automatic. And this is as far, of course we have the hammer there. This is as far as you would want to disassemble this. Any further, you would want to get someone that's confident in this design, a qualified gunsmith. And you'd basically want to clean everything out, clean the rails, wipe everything down, give a coating of oil for lubrication and corrosion prevention. And that's pretty much as far as you would want to disassemble this. On the slide, we have our recoil spring assembly here. It's a dual spring assembly, and it's a non-captive guide rod. So to remove, you'd simply push forward and then lift up. So forward and up. Now, since it's a dual spring, it's not as long. However, it's still not captive, so if it gets away from you, it can go across the room. You have your dual springs. They're nested one inside the other. You have your guide rod. There is this metal, it's like a washer that reinforces the guide rod. It is a plastic guide rod, and that keeps the spring from damaging the guide rod. The barrel assembly itself locks up. Well, let me go ahead and show you. On operation, the pin goes through that section there, and on recoil, it pulls the barrel down, and then that allows the slide to come back. So the barrel can just lift out. Now, for lockup, it's got this groove that's in the top of the barrel section there. Probably easier to see like that. That connects with a matching set of grooves in the slide, and that's what keeps it locked in place. So when it's in its locked position, it's rigid, but as soon as this lifts just a little bit, then that unlocks. So that's how that works. You have your rails on the slide. You just want to clean those out, clean them all, nice, get all the grime out and everything, then light coating of oil. This is as far as you generally need to disassemble this for regular field stripping. However, if you do need to disassemble it further to remove the firing pin, it's just like a miniature 1911. There's our firing pin right there. And this rear plate will remove. The firing pin actually holds to lock it in place. So we just need to get something that can go into there, and you would push in on the firing pin, and then you could lift it. Once you push in on it, and you can remove it, that rear section. Now everything is under spring tension in there, So as you're disassembling it, you want to make sure you keep your finger over it so that things don't fly out. So when that comes off, then you have your firing pin and rebound spring, and the extractor, which I didn't point that out earlier. It's right there. You can see it right there as well. You can just kind of push on that and it will come out the back. So that's fully disassembled as far as the slide now. So you just want to clean everything off, light coating of oil. Reassembly is just the reverse. So you put your extractor in, the little claw goes toward the inside of the gun. You just slide that in. Well, first, this back retaining plate goes into these grooves here. And it also slides into this groove here. So when you're reassembling this, just make sure you line up that groove. And when you're all said and done, the back of it should be flush with the back of the pistol. There is a little flat section. It should be flat to the opening where the hammer goes. Then put your firing pin and rebound spring in. Now on this little cover plate, the rounded section goes in first. So once that's in place, then you would need something to kind of push in on the firing pin. And if you see that little stepped shoulder, that's what goes into the hole there. So you push that in, then slide the cover over, and it is snapping back in place, and that's back assembled. You put the barrel in just the opposite way you took it out. Make sure it's all the way down in its locked position. Make sure your washer, that reinforcement piece, is on there. Your nested springs. The springs go in the top hole. The flat portion of that guide rod goes against the flat face there of the locking lug, or the bottom lug. And kind of guide it into place and push down, and that's reassembled there. You would align the rails on the frame with the rails on the slide. Now the ejector is spring loaded because, as you can see, it sits up higher than what there's room in the back of the frame. So you just push that down. Now on this particular one, you can just push it and it stays down. Now don't worry, when you put a magazine in, it lifts it right back up. So you can just push that down. It actually makes it really nice as far as disassembly, or reassembly rather. You'd go ahead and slide this on. You would align the barrel, that lug on the barrel with that cutout. You would align it so you could put the pin in, and it goes into that. Then you can, once you push this pin in part way, then you can align that cutout to push it in the rest of the way. Once that's in, you want to function check it, and you're reassembled. I hope that this information is of value, and if you like the video, I would ask that you hit the like button and subscribe if you want to continue to see more like it. And as always, until next week, stay safe.